Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to reveal the shocking truth about electric cars. Are they really eco-friendly or are they just a scam? Electric cars are becoming more and more popular as a way to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and air pollution from transportation. They run on electricity instead of fossil fuels, and they don't produce any tailpipe emissions. But does that mean they are completely harmless to the environment? Well, not exactly. You see, electric cars have a different environmental impact than conventional cars, depending on how they are produced, used, and disposed of. In this video, I'm going to look at 3 aspects of electric cars that affect their environmental performance: the battery, the electricity, and recycling. Let's get started. The battery. Electric cars use lithium-ion batteries to store energy. These batteries are made of rare earth materials such as nickel, cobalt, and aluminium that require mining and extracting. These processes can cause emissions, water pollution, and land degradation in the countries where they are sourced. More than half of world's lithium is sourced from lithium triangle, and mining is resulting in decreased water supply and less accessible water for local agriculture there. The size of the battery also matters. Generally speaking, the larger the battery, the more materials and energy are needed to make it. This means that electric cars with bigger batteries have a higher environmental impact during their production than those with smaller batteries. An average electric car manufacturer accounts for emission of 8 to 10 metric tons of CO2. Smaller EVs manufacture releases 2 metric tons, while long-range electric vehicles are responsible for up to 17 metric ton of carbon dioxide. So, how bad is the battery for the environment? Well, according to a study by the International Council on Clean Transportation, electric cars have a higher environmental impact during their production than conventional cars. CO2 emission of a conventional car is around 7 metric ton. Several studies have also calculated the break-even point, which is the distance that an electric car needs to drive to catch up with a conventional car in terms of environmental impact. According to Emissions Analytics CEO Nick Molden, the fewer miles driven, the longer it takes to reach the break-even CO2 point. If you drive 30,000 EV miles a year, you will break even in 1 year. And if you drive up to 10,000 miles a year in an electric car, it will take 5 years before you break even with the CO2 emitted by a combustion-powered vehicle. That's a lot of miles, right? But don't worry, there's more to the story than just the battery. The electricity. Electric cars need to be charged from the power grid, which can have different sources of energy, such as coal, gas, nuclear, wind, solar, and hydro. The type and mix of energy sources affect the carbon footprint and the air quality of electric cars. For example, if the electricity comes from coal, which is a highly polluting and carbon-intensive source, then the electric car will indirectly emit more greenhouse gases and pollutants than if the electricity comes from wind, which is a clean and renewable source. The location and time of charging also matter. Different regions and countries have different power mixes, which can change over time and seasons. For example, in the UK, the power mix is becoming more sustainable as coal is being phased out and renewables are increasing. This means that electric cars in the UK are becoming greener over time. However, in some countries, such as China and India, coal still dominates the power mix, which makes electric cars less eco-friendly. Moreover, charging at night or during off-peak hours can reduce the demand and stress on the power grid, and also take advantage of excess or cheaper electricity from renewables. So how green is the electricity for electric cars? Well, according to the same study by the International Council on Clean Transportation, electric cars have a lower environmental impact during their use than conventional cars, mainly due to the zero tailpipe emissions. An average internal combustion engine car releases around 5 metric tons of CO2 every year. The study also compared the lifetime emissions of electric cars and conventional cars. The results showed that electric cars are more environmentally friendly than conventional cars in most regions of the world, especially in Europe, the US, and China. The study also projected that electric cars will become even greener in the future. That's awesome, right? But hold on, there's a catch. The recycling. Electric cars have a longer lifespan than conventional cars, thanks to their simpler and more durable design. However, eventually they will reach the end of their life and need to be disposed of or recycled. This is where things get tricky. The recycling of electric cars is not as easy or as common as the recycling of conventional cars. The main challenge is the battery, which contains hazardous materials and requires special handling and processing. The recycling of batteries is also not very profitable, as the materials recovered are not very valuable. Moreover, the recycling of batteries is not very widespread, as there is not enough demand or infrastructure for it. As a result, most batteries end up in landfills or incinerators, which can cause environmental and health problems. So, how eco-friendly is the recycling of electric cars? Well, right now, it's not very eco-friendly, but it can become more eco-friendly in the future, as the challenges are overcome and the benefits are realized. Conclusion. So, are electric cars really eco-friendly? The answer is, it depends. Electric cars are not perfect, and they have some environmental drawbacks, especially during their production and depending on the power mix. However, electric cars are still better for the environment than conventional cars, especially during their use and in regions with a clean power mix. Electric cars are also likely to become greener in the future, as battery technology improves, as renewable energy expands, and as recycling becomes more widespread. I have attached the relevant research papers and documents in the description. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Also, let me know in the comments what you think about electric cars and their environmental impact. Do you own or plan to buy an electric car? What are the benefits and challenges of driving an electric car? I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.